Hey, good morning. Welcome back to my bait cave. Hope all you guys are doing all right out there. I don't have any questions to answer from last week's video. That's good. Must mean I explained everything well. Today's project, I want to show you my recipe for Okeechobee Magic. I don't know that mine's really a good match for, say, Zoom. I don't know where you can get it anymore. Last time I saw it was at the Bass Pro Shop, and I think it was in one of their products. I'm not sure if it was from Zoom or anybody else. But anyway, my recipe morphed quite a bit over the years. I guess I've been making it for about 3 to 4 years now. And some of the changes I made because one of the products, I just found a better way to do it. One of the original colors that I used was a dark watermelon. And I ran out because when I was first starting in, a lot of times if I want to try a color, I just get a little bottle like this. Instead of these great big bottles, if I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. So when I first started making the Okeechobee Magic, I was using a color called a dark watermelon. And I ran out and I couldn't find no more, so my best girl in there, she's got real good color vision, so I showed her the Zoom version. They made it in a monster worm, and I showed her the colors I was trying to make. She helped me match really close to what my dark watermelon color was by using regular watermelon 101 from Lure Works and putting a few drops of 156 green pumpkin in it, and it actually probably is better than my first version that I used the dark watermelon in. And for the other half, the other side of Okeechobee Magic, it's a laminate. I'm gonna use today. My recipe calls for this blue right here. I don't know how to say that word. I would say phthalo, but I'm not sure if that's correct. But this is my favorite blue to use in it, which this flipping blue, if you want to make it, if you want to color match it, you might want to try this color, because I think flipping blue is the correct blue, but it's not my favorite. The original Okeechobee Magic pattern that I was looking at, it called for 040 gold flake. Let me see if right there, and then 040 black, and I prefer the hex over the square cut. And then it always had this 015 silver, but it called for 040 royal blue, but I prefer the 015 in it because it helps. To me, the 015 mixed in with that blue is that's the color I like. One of my bottle tips must have been leaking a little bit on that 156 green pumpkin. Sometimes those caps break and you have to replace them, and I got a bunch of replacements. I'm just didn't do it yet. So I want to go ahead and show you my recipe, and it's in my book. You might not be able to understand my chicken scratch. All right, so I got all the ingredients on the table, and here's how things changed over the years. This was the original color. I call it the top color, but it's actually it is mostly just side 1 and side 2, because this mostly goes in worms and stuff like that. But anyway, I reduced the drops from 40 to 20 because I used to like the colors darker, and over the years I tried I really prefer to lighten up on it. But anyway, this is what it amounted to. We turned it into, with the help of my best girl, we turned it into 30 drops of water. And here again, I don't have 156 or 101 behind these two colors. This is actually watermelon 101 and green pumpkin 156. And I used to not write those in my book, as you can see, because I only had one. So it wasn't like I had a variant. But now I'm down to, as I'm lightening things up, I only use 5 drops of green pumpkin 156 and 15 drops of watermelon. And then I went from a full tablespoon of black flake, reduced it down to half, and then over the years I decided that was too much, and now my favorite look is just a quarter. So I got this quarter out, and that's what I'm gonna be using today. I over the years I've just been finding less is best, and I used to use a full strength. My really 40 drops of this blue is dark, and I reduced that down to 20 drops. As with the flakes, same thing. See, I got all small 0.15 flake now, but only a quarter. So I don't want a whole lot of flake in it either. Because you'll see, it's going to look good with that amount of flakes. Now, and then you can, whoops, damn it, I had to pick that up. All right, I'm back with you. I don't know if you saw it, but I knocked this whole thing of gold flake off, and it knocked all over the floor. I had to get the shop vac out and clean that up before I tracked it in the house. But anyway, what I was saying is, you see how many times I changed my recipe. I'm sure you guys can take this as a start and run with it. I'd be interested to get any feedback from you guys on any other changes that you'd like to make to it, and show me your recipes. I really like to see them. The other thing that I'm going to do today is Okeechobee Magic is really it's made for a creature bait and a stick bait and worms. Today, for the first time, I'm going to try some Swimbaits, which I want to use this epic sleigh bait. I really love this bait. I think I've showed it to you before. If not, when I demold them, I'll show you some of the finer points of this lure right here. This baby's got an upper hook slot and a lower hook slot. It's just all around a good lure. And then I'm gonna make some of these 5.4 inch whip wads. These things are almost every time I go fishing, I take these with me. These are got the hook slot. You can delete the hook slot if you care, if you'd like to. You know, that's the other thing. If you don't want to hook, use a swim bait hook, and you want to use something else, I don't know how you do it. There's a million different ways. You might not want that hook slot in it. And then the last one, I want to get some 4-inch prey baits. These also have an upper and a lower hook slot. You can delete these if you want, I think, but plastic is going to join in here some kind of way. But I don't know why you'd want this one without a hook slot. This is this thing fits perfect on an owner beast hook, and you can use an upper spin or a lower spin if you want to, or no spin if you want, any weight you want. This is also one of my favorite swim baits, just because it's the right size. All the waters I fish in, 4 to 5 inches is good. I got some that are up to 6.5. I think they even make a 7-inch. I'm not sure, but for me, it's just too big. While we're talking about it, I was going to show you. This is the 5.5 inch. Well, here we go. The hook slot goes in like this. But this is the 5.5 inch. It's big. And this isn't even the Mac Daddy. They make one bigger than this. Epic makes one, I think it's 7.1 or 7.5. But be honest with you, the lakes that I fish in, even this one I can get by. I've caught a few fish on this one, but if I throw anything bigger than this is going to scare the fish away. Now if I take a trip there up above Dallas and hit some of those lakes like Fork and all those, well, then I'm probably going to go ahead and buy the 7-inch one because these will be small up there. Plastisol I want to use today is this 292. It's a medium hard formula, and it's ultra clear, low odor, and it's supposed to have the same characteristics as the 262, which I was using last week, but the 262 isn't low odor, ultra clear. So I've been working with this. See, I'm not sure if this is going to be my go-to formula yet. I'm still partial to that 242. So I might just have to get this more into my lineup. All right, there we go. We'll start off with 2 cups of 292. I'll go ahead and pop this in a microwave. I'm just gonna put both of them in there. Cook it straight through for 6 minutes. While I was cooking, I'll just talk a little bit with you. If I stop for a minute and just stare off into space, looking kind of goofy, don't think nothing of it. The weather has got my sinuses just like flared up this morning, and man, if I just tilt my head too much to one side, I got vertigo. It's bad, man. It's like almost feel like I want to get seasick, but I really don't. It's just it's a passing spell, but living down here in the South that's just something I've had to put up with since I lived here, and sometimes like mornings like this is really annoying. A lot of times people see pictures of me or my videos, and they comment, they're like, why you always wearing a life jacket when you're fishing in the boat? Because most people take them off to fish. They only put it on when a big motor's on, right? Well, if something like a cool bird flies over and I look straight up and I'm having one of these sinus days, it'll put me in a tailspin. I'm afraid I'm going to fall out the boat. And I have fallen off quite a few boats before, not even having an issue with vertigo or nothing. I just misstepped or misjudged something and boom, in the water. But I don't know how good I could swim if my head's just spinning. I don't know if you guys never got it, you're lucky as hell. But if you ever got vertigo real bad, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so the plastic is cooked all the way through and already been through the vacuum pot. So I'm gonna build a watermelon side first. So 15 drops of watermelon 101. It's not exact, so if you get over or under, it's not going to hurt anything. On top of that, I want 5 drops of green pumpkin 156. And there's a bunch of different green pumpkins out there, so this is only good if this lure works 156, because they're all going to get a little different shades to them. .040 black flake, 1/4 tablespoon. and 040 hex. And let it heat a little bit. Like a little extra, but not too much. See what that is going to look like. So on the swim baits, this is going to, I'm thinking this is going to be the back. I think that's good. See what it looks like on the table. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, then for side 2, drops of this blue. Okay. Well, this is going to be that small royal blue 015, which is really, really fine. And the same thing as silver. See what all that's going to look like. These things are starting to cool down. I might have to give them each another 30 seconds in the microwave. Get them all ready for it. Yeah, see that? The royal blue flake just sits in there. That's exactly what I was thinking it was going to look like. See what we got here. It's a little bit cold. I don't want it too much more, but maybe this 30 seconds. My microwave is not very powerful, so 30 seconds ain't gonna hurt nothing. So we're about ready to get them right. One thing that's really cool about these Epic bait molds is the back and the belly are labeled on all of them. So I want the blue side to be the belly, and the back's gonna be the watermelon side. Always give them one little more stir before I'm ready for the injection. It's just to make sure that all the glitter suspended in there, because it has a tendency to settle. So I'll start with the middle one right here. And belly's gonna be this way. So you want to hold a little pressure, and you don't want to really inject this super fast either. But you don't want to waste your time because you don't want it to get too cool. Let's see, we got enough of these. I think being a dual injector, there is going to be enough. Might be cutting it close. I gotta keep this. Man, I hate that stuff building up on there like that. There's a brand new blending block out in the market, and I'm gonna have to get one that's specifically made for these single sprue type molds like this, because it's hard to keep these things filled up. And normally on these epic molds I don't have to, because the sprue is really kind of big. But man, I barely just had enough of that. Well, we'll see. All right, I got everything cleaned up. It's cooled off. Here's the deal. I may have ran short on this one. I think I had enough of these two. Maybe this one looks like I sucked in a little bit, and I don't know about that. And I don't know why, because I thought for sure with the dual injection there would have been enough. But I might be thinking about the triple. Well, no, it looked like it got in there. That one don't look bad. So that's kind of what I was thinking it would look like. Okeechobee Magic in a swim bait. I've never done it before. What y'all think? Let's take one out and look at it. I think that's good. I like it. It's kind of the effect I was looking for. Whoops, let me hit that camera right now. Kind of effect. It's about what I was looking for. I think a red eye. We're going to take a red eye on there. Pretty cool, huh? Let me know what y'all think. Went ahead and moved this camera over here. Right there, I can see a little bit better. All right, so this is the sleigh bait. Wow, that's gonna be pretty good. I really like these sleigh baits. It's kind of new to me still. I haven't used them as much, but I'm working on it. I got a lot of ideas what more we can do with this. And look, this takes a larger, the next size up eye than the prey bait. This one, the eye's a little bit bigger. So I got those eyes with the cross in it. I'm gonna lay that cross right along that lateral line right there. That's gonna be badass. Look at that. I mean, that's what I was looking for right there. I didn't expect anything different. Now see, these are the ones both with these and the prey bait. They got the upper hook slot. I don't know if you can see that real good. And a lower hook slot. So those big owner beast hooks, the swim bait hooks, it'll thread right into here. The weight and hook will tuck up under here as close as possible. And then instead of skin hooking it, you can just bury that hook right in this upper slot. And when that fish chomps down on it, is a really good hook set. And the last ones for today will be these 5.5 inch whip wads. Whoops. you know, come out on the same side. Let's see if I can put these back in there to give you the right effect. I can already tell I'm liking these. I love this whip wad. I've used a lot of them. I'll show you the whole characteristics of these things. So I think they call it a whip wad. I think it was the name came from that. This tail it really whips. This thing's got a lot of action. But I think these little things on the back give it a little bit more sound in the water or vibration. That's called the wad. So it's a whip wad. Get it? I've caught quite a few fish on these. But I'm planning. The one reason I thought about this color is I'm really struggling to find some good saltwater colors, because I want to go get some saltwater fishing on, and I just don't know. I don't know that much about the colors. I mostly saltwater fished with like cut bait or live bait, or maybe just some what do you call? We used to call them like a beetle, a twin-tail beetle. Caught a lot of speckled trout on those, but I really want to try to catch some saltwater fish on these things. I'm hoping I can get some trout to be interested in this. Alright, so while I had everything out, I thought I would do some tubes, stingers, knuckle draggers, and rockets. And the only thing that I have to worry about the top and the bottom for is the rockets. So I'll keep the bottoms on this side, and I'll just run this straight down. Just thought I should have a couple sets of these while I have everything. I may or may not include this in this video. We won't know until the end. But this is actually the molds that I have used this color in before. I'm not going to do a whole lot of these. I just wanted a set of each. I like to bag things up in sets. So like rockets, I think I do four to a set. Both the knuckle dragger and stinger are 6 to a set, and I think tubes are 5 to a set. It just makes the molding easy. So let's see how these came out. This will be the rockets. This is the only one I had a top or a bottom. That's what Okeechobee magic was intended for. Creature baits and worms, stuff like that. Well, this came out pretty good. Can't go wrong with that. I don't know if this is the stinger. I think this is the knuckle dragger. Yep. This is the stinger. It's exactly what it was intended for. Every time I've seen or used Okeechobee Magic was always in. I have used some worms, but most of it was in creature baits or whatever you punch bugs. I guess a stinger can be considered a punch bug. This one will be the knuckle dragger. Same thing as a stinger. Same body as the stinger, but it's got these longer appendages. Oh yeah. You can tell when the temps are right too, huh? It goes right down the middle. One of these days, if I can get one of my nephews, well, I should put it like this, not if I can get, but if one of my nephews ever decides that he wants a side hustle and wants to get busy and start working on some of this his own self, I'm gonna go ahead and get a shooting star where you can do laminates like this perfectly every time. But for now, I'll stick with the system I have. It's good for me. So these tubes, sometimes they can come out like this. Here's one gonna stick, so I'm not gonna bust up my tube just for that. I don't think I got enough oil on them. Well, I mean, I still got to cut them, but I probably won't do that till tomorrow. Just gotta like to let them set for a while. I made a lot of tubes with this color combination right here. I mean, that's almost as good as a shooting star. Just takes longer. But a shooting star, I gotta admit, is gonna make a more perfect laminate every time. So off camera, I went ahead and put some eyes in just to give you the gist. But I think that red, if it don't work on the speckled trout out in the salt water, this is still going to work up in inland lakes. I don't have any doubt. And there's the whipwads, the same size eye. I just think that's a cool color for these things. I've never tried it before. And this is what I was talking about. This one takes a larger eye. And on these eyes, I can get this cross. Now, they may have it in those eyes. I just don't have none. But I think that's just cool. I like the way it lines up right across that lateral line right there. I think that's gonna pop really well. All right, so while the camera was off, I went ahead and ran a few sets of everything. I didn't want to bore y'all. So what I usually like to do is, I think I put these in sets of 6. These are also in sets of 6. And these things, right, I only do sets of 4s. And it's just all about how they come out the mold and how I can make it all add up. But I still got to put the eyes on all of this stuff. And then I went ahead and I still got to cut the tubes, but I got some good few bags of everything, so I'll be able to fill up my tackle box at least. That's kind of a productive day for me using a. That's a productive day for me using my method with the microwave and cups of Plastisol. Like I said, one day, and I'm not saying it's probably going to happen or may not. You know, my nephews, they enjoy doing this right now, but they might grow up and grow out of it and go get a real job somewhere. If they ever get to the point where they want a little side hustle or something, I'd love to have a shooting star, and really, you know, that would increase production drastically. But right now, it's just not something that I need or something that benefit me in any kind of way. So that's my recipe for Okeechobee Magic. If y'all like it, let me know, and if you got any better ideas, let me know. If you got a better recipe that you wouldn't mind sharing with everybody, I'd like to know it. That's about as close as I could get to what I remember it looking like. It's been a long time since I actually had any. Last time I saw it was in a Bass Pro Shop, and it wasn't even made by anybody. It just had a Bass Pro sticker on it. So the way I see colors, that's about the best I could do. I may go back to the larger royal blue flake in the blue side. I might. I used to today was the first day I used a smaller flake. And another thing you're gonna have after a day like this is a big cup of this stuff. See, that's the nozzle, or the sprue, some people call it. And it's a cool color, but you really can't sit down and cut those apart from each other. So if I melt those down into something that's going to be both those colors combined, and we don't know what it's going to be. Sometimes with other colors like California 420, when you take those two laminate colors and put them together, they make a real beautiful color that we call Hollywood 151, and that's always been a good way to use that stuff up. And then in sprayed grass, those two colors go together real nice to make a color that we've been calling cut grass. So we'll have to see what Okeechobee Magic goes together and what it looks like and what we're going to call that. So if you like this video, give me a like and a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that bell over there on the side. I'm just learning about that. I didn't even know that was down there. So if you have watched any of my videos before, you know what I'm gonna say next, right? You know what I'm gonna say. Don't forget to go fishing. It's very important. You get caught up in this rat race life, and we put fishing to the back. It should be the other way around. We need to put fishing first, and then we'll contend to the rat race, because that ain't going away. Nobody's going to do it for you. You'll get to it. Well, I'm the old tired veteran. You guys stay safe out there, all right? And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.